Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to the video. Today we're going to recap 2022. Now to start off with, Happy New Year. This is 2023, 1st of January. We've started a new episode, and as I get older I more and more get the feeling that the years just fly by. It just goes faster and faster. It's amazing. But oh well, that's just life, isn't it? When you're young, you think the years last for a century, and when you're older, you think they last for a minute. At least that's my experience. But yeah, I had a decently good New Year's Eve. Didn't do much. We were all in the belly flu experience. I'm already pretty much out of it, most of it. I'm just a little bit sensitive in the belly sometimes when I eat something. It's too tough for my belly at the moment, but the wife is still fairly sick, and my son is also getting out of it. He was the first to have it actually, and infected both me and his mother. But we had a good New Year's Eve. We watched a couple of movies. We did some games, board games. We had some fun, and it was very good day for my son, and that's the most important thing. We didn't have any guests or anything. We didn't want to infect anybody, so it was a bit of a slow New Year's Eve for us, but for my son it was great. So he watched the fireworks from the window and stuff like that. So he had a great time. That's all that really matters. That's the most important thing, isn't it, once you have kids? Yeah, so that's all right. What I want to do today is want to make a little bit of a recap of 2022, about the game, about my squadron, and about my channel a little bit. So it will be threefold. On my locals channel tomorrow I will post a recap of 22 about more personal stuff and maybe some political stuff to get back into that jazz, because 2022 was a very interesting year. But we'll be going in that on locals. Don't want to bore the people who are not interested in hearing me talk about politics on this channel. So stay tuned for that tomorrow on locals. I post a little teaser on YouTube probably for that, and just so you know. But today will be about the game, the squadron, and yeah, how it all went in that sense. The channel as well a little bit. So let's start off a little bit with the channel. It goes together with the game, by the way, though, so I might skip over from one to the other. The game has been developing in a way that, well, we've been used to from Gaijin, and that is the hype game. Of course, you want to hype your game, I can understand that. They're completely focused on top tier all the time, extending top tier jets, F-14s, F-16s and all that jazz, and so the focus is on premiums that come in the rank before that, when they introduce a new rank and stuff like that. And it's a money making procedure, right? Sometimes they do something with the game and how it works, but for RRB, and that is what I mainly play, of course, fairly little has changed over 2022. We have some maps now and then. We have some of this, some of that, a little bit of they had some maps that involve a little bit enduring confrontation like rules in them, but it doesn't really come out yet as something added. Really what I notice is that people actually basically skip those maps because they take way too long without any extra rewards, any extra missions, or what you can do. And my opinion of this is that I find this development lacking. So the way they are developing the game with these new ranks and only focusing on new vehicles, that is now beyond me. I'm no longer interested in that. I can no longer be hyped. I've been playing this game for 9 years now, and it's, yeah, okay, man. I mean, jets were not my favorite part of the game anyway, but I can't keep up. I'm not willing to spend the money myself, even being in the partnership program and getting rents and some golden eagles for support, which I appreciate. It's nice that they do that, but it is just not possible to keep up with all this stuff. You would have to invest money, at least with the amount of hours that I am capable of playing, to get all this new stuff unlocked. So I'm just now focusing on my own thing, which is basically, as a main thing, the rank reviews for my channel. And from the rank reviews, I play the planes in a certain rank, and I get some nice games to showcase a certain plane. And if I didn't showcase that for a long time, I will make a new review for the channel, basically. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Also, of course, sometimes I feel like making a tutorial on something, and I'll drop those in as well, or a squad gameplay, which was really interesting to show you guys, with some nice cooperation and stuff like that, some good communication. So that is all there, and that really, it just fits in, man. I can't be hyped anymore. I'm not too much into jets. I have talked a lot in the past about the business model of Gaijin, which is to make the grind really hard and to frustrate the hell out of people, thus forcing them to buy premium time or premium vehicles. That is not the business model that I would have chosen. Obviously, it is making them money, and it works for them to a point, but it's terrible for player retention. It gets really old after a certain point. And for me, it got old already a long time ago for what Gaijin is doing. I mean, if you're new to the game and you like a Phantom, you like, or you like a Tomcat or a Falcon, you're like, yeah, I want all these plays, fantastic, and you're starting the grind. It might not be that obvious yet, but for us who've played this game for 9.5, 10, 8 years, whatever, man, it's completely clear for us. We've been here for so long. We've seen this time and again. And what we've also done time and again, and that might be a wish list that I could go into, is the wish list that we have and that we have expressed in all our different roles that we have. Some people play the game only and they post on the forums ideas to improve a game mode like this. Or people like me who have a channel that became reasonably successful, or actually people who exploded and who are really big. All of us in our own roles have expressed our opinions on the state of, for example, air RB or tank mode or whatever. You know, there could be criticism anywhere, but I'm just mainly focusing on air, of course. And this game mode has not been changed since the beginning, since I started playing it, more or less. It's still the same. Nothing added. It is one of the only. It's very stale mode in the end. You go in with a fighter, or you try to do your thing. You kill enemy planes. You go after bases. That's it. We've been doing that for years now. So nothing changed there. They didn't add anything to that. Yeah, they changed some maps, and they made some maps look beautiful, wonderful, or they changed some airfields, or you know, they had some ideas here and there. But for fundamental game development, game mode development, nothing worked here. No work has been done basically on Air RB. And this game, for me, as we go for a wish list, I would love to see development in Air RB for a change, instead of this constant focus of new patches with some new jets and more compression and all that jazz. We want to see development. There has to be development at a certain point. Otherwise you get, I mean, okay, I'm going a little bit all over the place now as all kinds of ideas drop into my head, but it hasn't helped my addiction to the game, the way they've developed it and the choices they have made. But yeah, let's go into a wish list first. I wish them to develop RB mode further. I want a different setup, what we can do in these maps. I want further development of the maps. I want to see a lineup in Air RB. That would be one of my solutions to the staleness of this mode. For that, it has to go back to the hour. You know, the hour match time. They changed it about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I don't exactly remember, to a 25-minute timer on the game mode, which was devastating. I made a podcast on that with Define and Adam. If you haven't seen that, you should, retrospectively check that out. You'll find it on the channel. I have made separate videos on that where I rant about it solo. I've mentioned it many times in other videos. It has been a disaster for pushing the envelope in AirRB for players, because what they took away is the baby in the bathwater, and that is the carry match, the ability to reverse a match. And not one reversal of a plane, but the reversal of the whole game, where your team gets wiped out. You are in a boom and zoom plane at high altitude, you're the only one left, and you have 8-9 enemy players left, and you have 40 minutes left, and you proceed to go through these enemies and kill them all. And the epiphany of I don't know if that's the right word, but the top-notch experience as a fighter pilot is that, to reverse, to carry a match like that. To reverse it, not only carry it, but also reverse it at the same time. So you get 7, 8, 9 kills. And that is something to aspire to. And once you do that a few times, it is something that kept you coming back. So that they took that away. But anyway, I'm still very angry about that. It doesn't bring me back to the game as often. Sometimes I need a break from the game because I just miss that. Sometimes I get tired of it because it's a little bit stale. I've been playing this game for 9 years. So for example, between August and November I didn't make any videos. I took a mini break because I was tired of it. And I just don't force myself to play then anymore, because otherwise I will burn out at a certain point and not come back at all. And I don't want that, because I enjoy the base what they still have left here. That's what I always come back to in the end, because what they made in its basis is still brilliant. They have made the experience of flying with a mouse and keyboard. I mean, you jump into this game, you have a mouse and keyboard, and you feel like you're a pilot. That is magical. They did that. I still love them for that. This game, in that sense, is brilliant. But they made that, and then they didn't do anything with it anymore. That's my problem. But anyway, so this 25-minute timer will have to change for this mode. If you get a lineup in AirRB, basically all game modes have lineups. One of the only ones that doesn't have it is AirRB. And it could make it really interesting if you have a lineup with, for example, a fighter, an attacker and a bomber, and if you get missions for all of those. So in the beginning of the match you get a mission, a personal mission to bomb said train in said sector, and if you destroy that train you get a bonus for your bomber mission. And then if you do your fighter mission, which says you have to protect said and said bombers in said and said location, if you do that, you get another bonus. And then an attacker, if you bomb this location, this factory over here, you get this and this bonus. And if you get all 3 bonuses, you get a super bonus, for example. I'm just making this up, right? I have several videos of, I also with the European Canadian Tag a long time ago, years when I was still very, very active. I made a video with him about the state of AirRB. And we talked about possible solutions to revitalize AirRB, and we threw some ideas around at that point, and it was a nice video with a lot of great ideas, and ideas from him, ideas from me, from our communities. I have people in my squadron that have been playing for 9 years as well, 10 years since the beta. I mean, and we have ideas how to make this game better, and we express this. As I said, we all express this before. From our experience in our roles, we made posts to Gaijin, we made videos, we made podcasts, all that stuff, and they didn't do anything with it, nothing. So I'm beyond that, I'm the illusion of listening, Gaijin listening to us is gone with me. Unfortunately, but it is. We used to have a player council, or whatever it was called. It didn't work. No. So, unfortunately, we have a brilliant basic idea that hasn't been developed. But, for example, what I just talked about, that lineup idea with rewards, with missions, they would have to work on their maps. They would have to lay rail make trains move, have new ones appear and pop up now and then as people activate their mission and stuff like that. So there is some work involved there, but it would make things very interesting. And there is plenty of ideas out there that could extend on that. For example, I wouldn't want any non-player action to be able to finish a game. It would have to be player interaction that finishes a game. Maybe a very long timer in the end if somebody's really fucking things up, you know, or if we all report somebody, if somebody's inactive. But things can be made up of that. If somebody is flying at 9K, we used to have, for example, you used to be attacked by AI fighters. They took that out as well, but you used to be attacked by AI fighters if you were inactive for too long. Very interesting concept. Would maybe kill the AFK player and you know, get some speed into the game. But anyway, I prefer quality gameplay instead of a fast queue. There is that. And it was still my high suspicion that Gaijin changed the timer to 25 minutes to deal with high-flying bombers that try to extend the game, you know. Unfortunate. Next to that, on my wish list is also that they make the grind a little bit easier. You know, if you're a new player and you're looking at this game and the amount of content it has, it is a daunting task. A daunting task to start with that. It is virtually impossible. Me and some of my squadron mates, we once made a calculation, and I think we did something like, okay, let's say the average player can play 2 hours per day, and every day 2 hours. And we made a calculation that it would take about 12 years for somebody to unlock everything in the game. It's some crazy amount of time, and that is absolutely unnecessary. Even to get to rank 7 or 8, what you have now, with planes alone in one nation takes a significant amount of time with 2 hours per day without a premium account, you know. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. As a novice player who gets 1 kill per match on average, maybe, let's say the average, a 1-to-1 kill death ratio. So 1 kill per match, about that. Man, that is just gonna take an insane amount of time. So yeah, I would like to see some work on that to make the grind a little bit easier. It seems they made it more and more difficult. We see less and less rewards. They took the timer away, so the way their reward system doesn't work so well anymore, because it used to be that if you're in the game for a long time and you did a lot of shit, you got more rewards. So now that we have a 25-minute timer, that cannot really add up anymore. Even with a premium account, I rarely get over 50,000 Silver Lions. Well, in the past, you know, we used to get 60, 70, 80,000 with a 5-6 kill match with a couple of ground targets mixed in as well. So they need to work on that as well. And yeah, for the rest, man, I just want them to focus on quality and to a lesser extent about just adding in new stuff, new vehicles. There's so much in this game for most players, you don't have to add that much. I mean, even for me, who's been in this game for 9 years, I've been playing much less the last few years, because I have a family now with kids, and or with 1 kid. But you know, it's too busy. You play on average an hour here, 2 days nothing, 3 hours there, 2 days nothing, 2 hours. You know, you have much less playtime in a sense in that way than from what I used to have. I used to play hours and hours and hours every day. I just can't do that anymore. And for the players who are newer and who can do that, I mean, it's no problem only getting a few planes every patch, because they have all the other nations and all the other stuff to unlock. And for me, with all the stuff that's being added and the less amount of gameplay, I can unlock 1 plane per patch, maybe 2, because I'm flying other things now, so I'm not that involved anymore in the grind. I don't do the grind anymore. But I would love them to focus on a business model where they try to engage people with better maps, better gameplay, and more engaging game modes, and thus hooking people to the game early on, and then people spending on the game out of love. You know, which retains more players. You get more player retention, which allows this game to grow more. That's been my philosophy. I've explained that before. I went into that in detail. And yeah, man, I mean, I guess they won't easily change that, but I think it would be an awesome thing for the game. The game has been growing regardless, despite their frustration-based earning model, let's say. Make the grind hard, make people frustrated, and then let them spend, which I think it burns people out more. It puts people more to the test. They say, okay, you do that to me, well, I just quit the game, and people just leave. And that is unfortunate that happened, because I think a lot of people would have stayed if this game would have been managed better in that sense. There would have been more player retention, and the game would have been way more successful. I mean, we now have about 100,000, 150,000 in between that in the evening playing, you know, in top hours. I've seen times when that was 20 to 30k, by the way. So there's been a down period in there for Gaijin between 2017 2018. After that it picked up a little bit, but they could be having 250,000 online every day, or 500,000, if they would focus on that player retention and try to get people back that way as well. Like we changed our ways. We want to make it a little bit more convenient for everybody and a little bit more enjoyable. I would love to see that. I don't know if we'll see that, but hey, there it is. Now, in all this, of course, I've been involved we talked a little bit about the channel, right? Where I'm just now focused. I'm not focused on the patches anymore. I don't care. I am just focused on making the things that I made. I talked about that. In the meantime, we also have a squadron in game. It is one of the older squadrons in the game, founded in 2015, and we've been kicking since then. And there's been a lot of change in that time, and that is just a proof of that, what I just talked about, that player retention is absolute dog shit. Gaijin has a game, a fantastic theory, fantastic basic, but they are super bad in player retention, one of the worst out there. If you look at my squadron and the player retention there from 2015, and you see, you in the log you can check when players joined, and you barely see any players from 2015, 16, 17, 18. It's just basically those players, most of those players have all gone, all quit the game. Very interesting. But anyway, the squadron. I want to take the opportunity to invite you guys to the squadron. We have a very serious squadron, RB squadron. Oh, very serious. What's serious? What's serious? We are seriously casual, with some high skilled players in there. That let's say that we take the average as a minimum, a 1-to-1 kill death ratio, and we just get people from that point onwards, and they become better as they play with us. So it's an above average squadron in skill level, let's say, and in how we want to play. We don't want just random chatter while we play games. We want to cooperate. We want tactical talk. We want to alert each other. We want to support each other. We're in that sense, I meant we're serious. We're also laughing. We also want to have fun, but that's the basics. We play tanks. We play naval. We play air. There's everything there for you. We do squadron battles. The guys picked that up. The guys who wanted to do that organized it, and we have quite a big group that is actively engaged in squadron battles. So we started to do that, and for the rest we have regular squads. We have an active Discord, and we just cleaned up the squadron. So just a couple of weeks ago. So we have 105 out of 128 right now. So we have 23 free places at the moment. So we're looking for more active people to fill those spots. But we do want you to be serious if you want to join us. We want you to come on Discord, make yourself known, be active, and want to be in a squadron with like-minded people. I mean, not all people think like me. We have a lot of different opinions in the squadron on many things, but we all are serious in our gameplay and stuff like that. And that's what I mean with like-minded people. Serious people who want to play War Thunder in a serious, relaxed way that can fit their real-life circumstances. So if you want to do that, find NMY in the squadron list or Unrivaled. You will find us, apply there, follow the links to the Discord and join us. And you're welcome to do that, and we'll have a great 2023 together. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.